that the first time you read it?
No, I also read it when I was writing it.
Yeah, loud in front of the crowd.
No, I've read it aloud a fair few times, yeah. People often ask, what part of the book are you going to read from? And I don't know whether anybody here, and I don't mean to diss any of the participants in this marvellous literary festival, I would never do such a thing. But sometimes you go to a literary reading and the writer stands up and says, I'm going to read you a bit of chapter 18, but before I read it to you, I need to tell you a bit about Dermot. Dermot's a pig farmer from Gloucestershire, and he lost part of his testicles in an accident 400 years ago with a baler. Well, by then, you've lost me, I'm sorry. I'm off with Dermot bailing and losing my testicles. So I tend to like read from the beginning of the book, probably old-fashioned. It seems to be part of the whole kind of narrative experience, and hopefully it seems only fair to you guys, because you can think, oh, I'd quite like to hear what happens to this idiot who's flipped his cigarette butt, or actually I couldn't give a toss.
The 10th class for show of hands. I'm always impressed, I think, as everybody is, by your vocabulary, and also rather scared of it. But orchidaceous breasts, I thought orchids were, when you have your testicles removed actually, it's orchidectomy, isn't it?
That's right, but they both have the same root, which is of course the same root as orchid, which just means globular or circular. I think it's in the Greek, somebody can probably correct us. So it just means really titty tits. I couldn't just say that. Why didn't I say that? Silly old me. That orchidaceous is not the better of me. I should have just said titty tits. If I had said titty tits, I'd probably get the book up right. But no, I have to let that orchidaceous slide out.
If everyone's doing A-level English at the moment, or doing their English stats, you tell your teacher, orchidaceous means titty. Will Self said so. Tom Brzezinski, how did you meet him? How did he come to you? What did he mean to you?
He's a quintessential fool guy. I like stories. It's something that preoccupies me, and you know, maybe I don't tend to psychoanalyze my own work, but there must be some reason why I like to take a character that's in potentially quite a bad situation and then just make things get worse and worse and worse and worse. And I like the idea of somebody who is in essentially a very difficult and tricky situation in a country that he doesn't know a lot about, and who is totally a victim of his own ignorance and his own inability, his own lack of foresight, essentially. I sort of filled the book myself as a political allegory, and it is to some extent an allegory of the Iraq War, or more specifically the reaction of Western liberals to the phenomenon of the Iraq War.
Your publisher describes it an insidiously allegorical account of the Western liberal conscience in the aftermath of 9/11.
No, I wrote that.
Okay. Do you stand by it?
Publishers are lovely, but, you know,
They're not good at writing.
well, no, I mean, they can write blurbs, but I think if you want to nail down and try and present a book to an audience, you're better off trying to coin it yourself. And, I haven't read the critics on this one, but I think some people have reacted and sort of said, well, it's not really an allegory as we understand it, or, you know, I think there's a great propensity with satire and political allegory to say, you know, it's like those newspaper cartoons where there's an X labeled cuts, you know, that people want it spelled out for them a bit, and it's not really, I don't know what your reaction to the book was, Paul, but it's not really a book that spells it out that much.
Well, my action was quite bizarre. I'm not going to get you now, but hitting.
Well, a rash.
It's healed up. Because at one point, it kind of, you can read it as a sort of very blokish airport novel, if you're just reading it as a page turning, and that's great. But then you come to words like orchidaceous, when one would expect titty, and you realise there's more to this than the first level, and you're into the allegory and the political satire. So, given that you said Tom is ignorant and by his own misfortune,
Lacking in foresight, I mean, he's quite clearly an American. It's never really stated that he's an American, and it's never stated what country he's in. But I very much wanted to capture, and his companion, he ends up going on a kind of hideous road trip into the heart of this country, with a companion who is quite obviously British, but again, it's never really stated in any way. And I wanted to look not